Talk Radio. Across the UK, online, on DAB and on your smart speaker. Alastair Stewart on Talk Radio.
Welcome back, and it's just coming up to 47 minutes or 13 minutes to 3. It's Alastair Stewart here in for Ian Collins, and I am with you until 4 o'clock. Graham, thank you for your tweet. Talk Radio reports today that Boris Johnson's willing to have TikTok based in the EU headquarters in London. Surely this is sending mixed messaging on the whole China debate. Well, we just talked a little bit about that to Justin Urquhart-Stewart, and I'm delighted to say that at just after 3, I'll be talking to Tobias Ellwood, the senior Tory backbencher and chair of the Defence Select Committee, about precisely that question. But first, the story that has transfixed me through most of this morning. I hope you will forgive me in that respect, but it is a story that comes to us from New Zealand, and it is a story about a woman who decided that she would take a sheet of A4 paper and she would put endless forward slashes on it, the sign on your little laptop, keypad, typewriter or whatever. She created it the day before entries closed for this particular competition, and she won £12,000. I live in awe of this woman, Estelle Lovatt, who is a art critic and a member of the Royal Academy herself and a lecturer in art. Estelle, I know what I like, but it's not art.
Well, let's first of all decide what is drawing. Drawing is mark making. So does it matter if you're using a piece of charcoal, a pencil or a typewriter? Maybe not.
Did you watch Antiques Roadshow?
Yes.
Did you see the Lowry on it? I mean, I absolutely adore Matchstick Men Lowry. This was an inverted V that Lowry had done as a sketch and then gave up and moved on, but he'd signed it. And it was valued in 5 figures.
Well, there you go. I mean, art is in the eye of the beholder. It's more subjective than it is objective. And if you think back during the course of art history, Egyptian art was all about flat mark making.
Yeah.
Artists that refer back to the second commandment, where thou shalt not make a graven image nor anything like anything else. You know, the camera, when that was invented, everybody said painting is dead. When people look at David Hockney's iPad art, they're saying that he's almost destroying the canvas. Why? When you look at minimalism as well, and the pile of bricks, which I know that you've referred to as well.
Yeah.
Well, when we understand that the pile of bricks is not just a pile of bricks, but it's actually a comment and a protest against the Vietnam War, maybe we see it in a different way. What about Bridget Riley's op art? This piece, this typewriter art, is no difference to that, really. It's all about repetition of form and pattern. And what's interesting about that now is that at this time, when we're all trying to seek a little bit of comfort during these unbelievable days that we're all experiencing worldwide, we find most comfort in a couple of things. First of all, art. Second of all, pattern. And also conceptualism, because conceptualism is all about an idea. So how you see this work of art is entirely up to you.
Well, let me butt in to put precisely a point on that to you. We were just running the actual imagery on our YouTube channel as well. I don't know if they can put it up again. They don't have to, but you can just imagine, you and I, because we've seen it, but yeah. Folk at home can imagine. There it is. Right. Okay. Now looking at that. When I first saw it, I have to confess to you, I thought it might be one of those, what is the word that you first see? Can you see a shape? What is the shape that first comes to mind? Not, here is a piece of art. But in a sense, by asking me myself those questions, I've just echoed what you've said. That in itself may be the artist's challenge. I mean, has she said what it's supposed to be?
Well, she hasn't said specifically what it's supposed to be, no, because all art is dependent on the viewer. You know, if I was to say to you, which will annoy a lot of listeners, I know, that Tracy Emin's bed is actually a self-portrait, not just an unmade bed, that makes Tracy Emin today's Rembrandt. So if we look at what this is, the fact that you said that you spent time looking at it, trying to understand it, that has given you a sense of peace. It's made you look, it's made you absorb something very simple and something instantaneous. You know, ordinarily we hear, oh, Renaissance art, for example, it is only for the highbrow, and there's too much symbolism and we don't understand any of it. Well, now we have something, can I call it visual poetry, if you like?
Yeah.
Where
no, don't lose that point, because the other thing it reminded me of was an E. Cummings idea for a poem that had gone completely wonky. You will be familiar. E. Cummings always has lots of punctuation marks and asterisks, and as part of his poetic form. I mean, it's just one. It's a very long one-word E. Cummings poem as well.
Yes, exactly. And also it's limitless in that respect, because you and I and everybody else will see something totally different. And this is not like maths. There is not one correct answer. 1 and 1 does not equal 2. What it does do, though, is it gives us a mark, a symbol that we are all familiar with nowadays, especially with spending so much time on social media. The /, it's almost like an Egyptian hieroglyphic for coronavirus days, if you like. And it's keeping us consistent. You know, it's relaxing us. And when we think about what she had to go through to create this work of art, she spent hours and hours and hours pressing the / tab, and you might think, well, so what makes that art? Well, it's a relaxing, calming, satisfying thing to do. It makes you tranquil. It's almost like a chant or a hymn or a prayer, and it's beautiful.
Well, and I'll tell you the other thing. Anyone sitting at home, and there will be lots of them sitting home thinking, Estelle and Alastair are just talking a lot of old what's it about a sheet of paper with a /. But I will finish by saying, A, thank you to you, Estelle, and B, just to remember, it's that woman in New Zealand who's got the cheque for £12,000, not me, nor you, nor the people sitting at home bemoaning what she's produced. Estelle, always a joy to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
And if you are interested, do look it up. It's on our YouTube channel, or you can Google it. It's the New Zealand prize-winning piece of art. Yes, at one level, it's a sheet of A4 paper with lots and lots of / in it. At the other end of the spectrum, it is a symbolic statement of where we are in COVID-19 and everything will be in the future, blah, blah, whatever. But you look at it and then you make your mind up. But don't just dismiss it as a sheet of paper with lots of / on it.